Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from a Rahdo Rounds Up video, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup that this came from, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner screen or follow the show notes, or if you'd like to know more about the game, there's a link for it down in the show notes as well. Okay, let's get to it. That would be Draconis Invasion, which I have to admit, I've had a prototype of for years. I've been carrying this around, and it's been on my Rahdo request geek list. You go to request@rahdo.com to request that I film games, and if people thumb it, it'll eventually get filmed. And Draconis Invasion, after all these years, finally had enough thumbs that Jen and I sat down and played this prototype I've been carrying forever. And it's a sharp little deck building game. It is a kind of dark fantasy world where players are competing to be the best at saving this world from all the monsters by building up their deck, filling it full of defenders who they can use to fight monsters and score points. It's very Dominion-y in that it follows the system where, as part of setup, you put out all the different cards that players can buy, so everybody knows it's not like an Ascension-style thing where new cards are coming in all the time. And so you can make strategies, okay, if I buy some of these, those will combo well with those, and all that sort of thing. And the core gameplay is solid. Here's the interesting twist to Dominion-style gameplay. There's largely two types of cards you can buy. Defenders, which are heroes and monster killers and stuff like that go into your deck because they can actually generate the fight power to fight off all the bad guys and score points. But there are also action cards, which are much more Dominion-y. You know, they allow you to get extra actions or do extra buys or find ways to convert resources into other resources, all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. Your startup deck, much like Dominion, comes with a bunch of money and a few basic little fighter cards. And as you start increasing your ranks, putting really strong fighters into your deck, the problem is when you draw them, the fighters, well, you had to pay money to recruit them. And then you have to pay money again to get them to fight. So if you have a really big, super strong Dragon Slayer who won't go fight unless you've got 5 gold, you got to pay 5 gold to recruit him. You got to pay 5 gold every time you want him to fight. And so as you're going through the deck, you will sometimes get these really big superheroes at the same time that in your hand you had a bunch of money cards. Think Dominion. And other times they'll come up and you might not have enough money to get them to fight. And so it's an interesting idea, and I think it works. It's kind of similar to Dominion potions in that you get cards that need this particular resource, potions, to be able to run. Here, the money that's in your deck is the resource you use to buy more cards, but it's also the money you use to pump into your existing cards to make them work. It's a cool idea, but it does add kind of a lot of variance and almost randomness. And we thought it worked. And I gotta say, folks, I mean, like, this game has been out for quite a while. It's had expansions. It's very, very popular. It has a huge following. But for me and Jen, we found ourselves thinking, well, this is very dark and grim. I think we'd rather just play Dominion, quite frankly. And so it didn't really resonate with us. But like I said, there's a lot of people out there that really love my number 24. And I do agree. It's got some very, very cool, interesting ideas. Draconis Invasion.